Dude, really have to fucking address this right out of the gate. I used to like the Blackhawks organization. I sat there through 6 fucking games watching that phenomenal team basically kick the Bruins' ass. I mean, they beat us in 6 games. Now, I know they weren't blowout games, but still, they just were better than us. And here I am, coming to the acceptance that we were 2 games short, that we were 2 games to 1 up. 3 games in, all we got to do is split the next 2, and we win it, and we never win another game. Lost 3 games in a row. That's fucking tough. And then that ends, NBA's over, and now I have to somehow come out of the high-paced level of NHL hockey, the excitement of the NBA Finals, to like the dog days of summer baseball. High and inside, ball 2. Dandy day for a ball game. If you're in town, come down this Saturday. This Saturday is hat with the propeller on it day. First 40 douchebags that show up get one of these. I don't know why you'd want one, but they're free, so people are going to come. Anytime it's free. All the fatties show up. So I'm sitting here trying, all right. But it's a great thing. We're competitive. We got a great team. We got a great base that we can build on. Who knows? Maybe next year, right? So I'm starting the healing process of it. And what do these cunts do? The Chicago Blackhawks, they take out a full-page ad in like the fucking Boston Globe. And this is the best part. Rather than just saying, oh, by the way, in case you forgot, we kicked your ass in the Stanley Cup Finals. These fucking cunts have the nerve to write a thank you letter to the Boston Bruins organization and to all their, this is the greatest thing ever, classy fans. It was one of the biggest douchebag, douche-chill inducing events in sports since I don't know when. Since maybe LeBron James, The Decision. Can you fucking believe that? First of all, let's just act like this was sincere and this was not grandstanding by the Chicago Blackhawks organization to just shine a light on them so everyone could be like, gee, well, aren't those guys classy? Isn't that swell? Because that's basically all that letter achieved. Okay? I don't want to speak for the entire Bruins fan base, but we don't need a fucking pat on the head telling us we're classy by you fucking brat-eating cunts out there with your Freddie Mercury mustaches. The fuck do you think we need that for? We played a 7-game series. It only went 6. You were the better team. Our team shook hands with your team. It was it. Classy fan. Do you fucking believe the balls on those fucking Blackhawk cunts? Can you believe? First of all, I want you to find an article out there. Because I know all the Blackhawk fans were like, it was a classy move. They were saying, thanks to the Bruins. They didn't have to do that. Let me ask you, fat, open heart surgery cunts out there. Huh? 9 out of 10 people out in Chicago have that zipper scar right up the middle of their fat fucking torsos. All right? And I was nice to them the whole fucking playoffs. Playoffs, right? Dude, I want you to find one fucking article out there about the Blackhawks thanking the Bruins that actually has the writer then talking about, like, wow, what a great organization the Bruins are. Man, their fans are so classy, the Blackhawks actually had to address it a week after the series was over. What is it about the Bruins organization that makes them so classy, Marv? Well, I got to tell you, ever since the days of Eddie Shore, I want you to find one of those articles. Because I'll tell you, there's not one. All that letter of apology did was facilitate more fucking praise for the Blackhawks. Like, well, you believe these guys? I mean, They win the Stanley Cup, and then they have the intestinal fortitude to sit there around that fucking horse shit, just heaping more fucking praise on him. It was a brilliant move by them. You know what I mean? You know what it looked like? Like that. They looked like they were drunk texting. Like they had won the Stanley Cup and they had so much booze. They get to that point right before you pass out where you're just thinking of all the great people in your life and you want to start crying. So you start calling people up. Call your buddy up who doesn't have a drinking problem like 2 a.m. He's freaking out that his fucking something happened to his mom. You know, did she fall down again? Picks up the phone. Hey, man, it's me, Mark. I just want to tell you, look, I'm drunk. I know I'm drunk, but I just want to thank you, I just want to, just for being my friend, man. That's what the fuck they did. So that letter of apology is a fucking embarrassment to hockey. And if this starts a trend where every year, I swear to God, next year, somebody's going to win and they're going to be like, well, no, now we have to write a letter of thanks. Can you they wrote a letter of thanks telling how classy Bruins fans are. Can you just take that in for a second? I'm actually going to wait 5 minutes of silence to wait for Montreal Canadian fans to stop fucking rolling on the ground laughing. Okay, you back? You Blue Blanc douches up there, right? I've been watching the Bruins since the early 80s. I'm going on 30 years of being a fan. Never has anyone ever even remotely suggested that Bruins fans are classy. We're a bunch of fucking animals. Now, I left Massachusetts in 1995. Okay? So there is a disconnect to me with that city. But do you remember last year when the Bruins got knocked out of the playoffs? We lost in overtime. And that dude Ward, forget his first name, scored for the Washington Capitals. And unfortunately, the dude was African American, and he beat the Bruins. And literally, like an eighth of our fan base went on Twitter and started dropping the N-word like it was 1938. You know? I don't know why I picked 1938. You know what I mean? And somehow, within a fucking year, we are so goddamn classy that the Chicago Blackhawks have to take time off from drinking out of that cup that fucking Chara took a shit in it. Right? I hope he did. They had to take time out to see how classy we are. Now, either the Chicago Blackhawks are the biggest bunch of fucking morons ever, which there's no way they are, because they won it 3 years ago, completely dismantled their team, and were able to build it back up again like the fucking Marlins. Right? Or the Chicago Blackhawks and the city of Chicago is so fucking racist that even that absolute public relations debacle of last fucking year, that absolute embarrassment that made me feel shameful that I was from that fucking city, is so pale, so in comparison to the unbelievable fucking level of racism in Chicago that they didn't even notice it. You know? I bet, this is how racist Chicago is. I bet last year, when they saw some Bruins fans' reaction to Ward scoring that goal, that they're so fucking racist that actually warmed their heart a little bit, and they probably already penned the first draft of that thank you fucking letter. I don't know if you've ever been to Chicago, but it is brutally fucking racist, you know, as is Boston. But we get all the fucking attention about it. Like the racism is in the South and it's in Boston, you know? Like they don't go to Pittsburgh, where the other side of the tracks is literally the other side of railroad tracks. You literally walk across railroad tracks and instantly you're the only white person on that side of the tracks. Anyways. That was, you know, I still like the Blackhawks, but if you think I fell for that on any fucking level, that letter of apology. Do you remember earlier this year where Jerome Agilna had the choice of maybe going to the Boston Bruins or maybe going to the Pittsburgh Penguins, you know? And it was a close decision, and he decided to go to Pittsburgh. Wouldn't you think that maybe that horrific reaction that Bruins, some Bruins fans, to be fair, had after losing last year, maybe tipped the scale? Because you got two great teams, you know? I know a lot of people. Well, I guess Pittsburgh's fucking racist too, but they never get it. They don't get any press on it. You know, all they talk about there is it's hard-working steel town, that there's no steel mills anymore, and anybody who had balls and made steel and built the bridges is at least in their 80s at this point, so it's a bunch of button-pushing computer cunts downtown at this point, but they still wear hard hats to the game. I'm sorry, people. Like, that fucking... Look, the end of the day, all that letter of apology did was just heap more praise on the Blackhawks. It was the Ron Burgundy moment. I look good. I mean, really good. Hey, everyone! Come and see how good I look! That's what they did. So, let me tell you something. Chicago Blackhawks organization and your entire fan base, you can take your fucking thank you, whatever the fuck that was, that letter you wrote from summer camp, you can fucking crumble it up. How did the Rock used to do that? And shove it straight up your candy ass! Please don't ever do that again. If any other organizations are listening to this, please don't do that. That fucking... Just please don't do it. It was such a great finals. 2 original 6 teams. One of my favorite moments of the playoffs was when that cunt that I respect, that pest on Chicago, was holding up. He's holding up the fucking Stanley Cup, and he's still bleeding from the series. Even in boxing, they stop the fucking blood. You know, they got some guy there pressing down on it with that compress thing, and he's got his gloves and shit, and it's just hockey. Guy's fucking bleeding, and like, it doesn't even, you know, wait, I guess UFC, they could be bleeding pretty bad. Look, you have to go to literally sports where they're beating the shit out of each other. And by the way, to all you fucking non-hockey fans who still think it's the slapshot era, there was not one fight the entire series. It was phenomenal. For all you fucking pansies out there, you know, sitting in your Afghans while wearing aprons, who wait for Olympic hockey and then lie to true hockey fans going, you know, if this is the way hockey was, you know, I would watch it. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, because that is the way it is, you fucking idiot. Those are all NHL players in the fucking game, you asshole. Oh, I am on a tear this week. So there you go. Fuck you, Chicago. Congratulations. You know what I should do? Hey, why don't we have a donation thing here? Everybody fucking donates money to the Monday Morning Podcast, and I'm going to buy out some ad space in the Chicago Tribune and write a thank you letter for the thank you letter, so I can see somehow. Well, what a classy podcast! I know he says cunt every other word. I know he can't read out loud. But this is just indicative. Fucking losers. Oh, douche chills. I got halfway through the letter and I had to stop reading. I just stopped. It was like eating lemons. And there's no fucking way. How do you not know how cunty a fucking move that is? It's actually hilarious. If that's how they meant it, to just, hey, you know what? I bet they're just starting to get over losing in the finals. Let's fucking remind them. You know what it's like? It's like when you break up with some chick, right? And it's like women have that sixth sense when they can tell you're starting to have good days and you're getting past them, so they fucking call you up and just mind fuck you all over again. All right. I'm done. I still can't hate the Blackhawks because I've always liked that team and I've always loved that uniform. But Jesus, that is a fucking. I don't know what to tell you. Blackhawks thanks Bruins, City of Boston in open letter Okay, so basically this article, this is in the Toronto. They say the Chicago Blackhawks penned a full-page open thank you letter to the Boston Bruins in the city of Boston Friday, just 4 days after beating the Bruins to win the Stanley Cup. It's signed by, they all the guys. So they basically quote the entire thank you, and then the last paragraph. It's got to be about the Bruins, right? It's got to be because they're so fucking classy, right? No, it goes, it was a classy way for the Hawks to wrap up a season that culminated with their second cup in 4 years. Chicago won the best of 7 series, 4-2, after gutting out a 3-2 comeback from behind win in Game 6 Monday in Boston. See what I'm saying? That's how all of them were. It was nothing about the Bruins. It had all to do with Chicago. You fucking... That was like a chick move. I got to give you. That was definitely... that makes it even worse. We lost to a bunch of broads. Oh, my God. Dude, that was right up there. That thank you... I'm going to just keep going on this thing. That fucking thank you letter was right up there with Sally Field going, you like me. You really like me. You know those moments where you're like, oh, God. You know? That big drunk woman who married the fucking old guy. Do you like my body? Oh, I'm getting uncomfortable just thinking about it. Gross. Fucking gross, Chicago. That letter was fucking gross. And if this was the intention to make me feel this way, then hats off to you. I'll buy you fucking a round of drinks. The whole fucking city. I'll buy you a fucking round of drinks. If this is what you wanted to achieve. That letter was worse than losing the fucking series. That's how bad it was. Ugh. All right, did I get it all out of me? I don't know.